Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, a neighbor asked me when I'm cleaning an apartment. I'll move when they get back. Woman leaves a negative Yelp review because we didn't offer our services for free. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. A neighbor asked me when I'm cleaning an apartment. My M37 upstart's neighbor was found after 3 days lying on the floor of his apartment. An ambulance took him away. I heard the banging on his door, found out what happened, and spent the next 3 days finding out which neighbor had the spare key, and rescued his dog. A sweet 18-year-old Jack Russell. So far it's been 3 weeks that I have been taking care of this dog. Bought food, showered her, for walks a day, the works. I live in a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood, which means that very few people have dogs. No one else would have taken her, but she is very recognizable in the neighborhood. An older woman from the building next door asked me if this dog was my sick neighbor's. I said yes. She then asked me when I am going to clean his apartment. I asked her why doesn't she? She got all flustered at me. My sick neighbor is a widower without kids. He doesn't really know how to treat a dog, but he loves her and spoils her like a child. He is a lovely man, but clearly with problems I won't go into. His apartment was a biohazard. Edit and update. The story isn't to complain about any community. Most communities are more complex than what they seem, and while I would not like to live the way ultra-Orthodox live, I have no problem with them living how they wish. I wouldn't want to be Amish either. I do have a problem with their political leaders, but we can live in disagreement. Please don't make this a race thing. I am not an immigrant here. The lady was just assuming things cause I was helping. Apparently my grandpa was her doctor. My neighbor is still in rehabilitation. Doggo is still with us until his pop is better. Why does she think you should clean the apartment? Are you the landlord? Or do you just live there? I interpret it as Opie giving an inch and the woman trying to take a mile. Just because they took in the dog doesn't mean they are responsible for everything else related to the neighbor, however. I think she is inferring she is an immigrant in a neighborhood of old, entitled Jewish people who expect her to be the help as opposed to a kind neighbor. Thank you for taking in the dog. Wanted to second, third, or more this. You rock. You are a mensch. If some busybody lady doesn't see you for the good person you are, that's her loss. You still shine. If anyone asks again, tell them to get a team of residents together to clean the apartment. Say how happy you'll be to participate. With a smile, it would shut them down. You did an admirable thing housing the dog, expensive too. If old lady friend knows the apartment is filthy, she should be doing something about it, not asking you. I'll move when they get back. Last night my fiancé, a couple family members, and I all went out to see a concert. The concert was excellent, but I do believe we've had the displeasure of meeting one of the most entitled concert goers I've ever met on this planet. While my dad and I were up grabbing drinks in between bands, a man, roughly the size and shape of a minivan, shoved his way past my fiancé and double parked on mine and my dad's seats. The conversation with my fiancé proceeds as follows. Fiancé, excuse me, someone's sitting there. Minivan, okay? Fiancé, can you please move? That's my fiancé's seat. Minivan, I'll move if he comes back. Fiancé, he's definitely coming back. Minivan, my seat's up there, points closer to the stage, I'll move when he gets back. Approximately 4 minutes of the minivan ignoring my beloved later, I show back up from getting drinks, not having checked my phone. This minivan must have had a powerful engine, because in the time I was processing my confusion at this man in my seat, he leapt up and sheepishly returned himself to the seat closer to the stage he was originally in. Part of me is glad that I hadn't checked my texts beforehand, because I would have absolutely gotten kicked out for knocking this rude man on his ass, but the entire situation was so perplexing he managed to scurry away while I was still processing his entitlement. Something similar happened to me, except the seat usurpers pretended they couldn't hear me because of the music. It's a pity that I'm a terrible dancer and can't control where my elbows move. Oh, I am so glad I am not the only one with that problem. Maybe he was trying to edge in on something other than your seats. Maybe your return dodged a bullet for your fiancé or someone else around you. Very weird and entitled indeed. She suspects that possibly he was potentially upset about Pokemon Go. Fiancé and her kid brother had just taken the gym at the venue waiting for the next band to come on, and pretty much as soon as they had he showed up shortly after. Oh, for going back into history when woman had hat pins. It would have been an interesting moment in this fool's life. Woman leaves a negative Yelp review because we didn't offer our services for free. My father and I run a small watch and jewelry business. A while ago, a woman came in and asked for a number of links to be taken out of her watch. We measured her watch against her wrist and made sure that she was happy with the fit. My father then removed the links and gave her back the watch. She was unhappy with the fit and said it was too tight. My dad told her it was no problem and he added more on. She tried it again but was now unhappy because the fit was too loose for her. My dad then removed more. Essentially, this went on for a while. Once she was happy, she put her watch back on and started walking towards the door. I said, "Excuse me, you forgot to pay." She turned around with an angry expression and said, "What? Why would I pay for this? It's just a few links. Anywhere else would have done this for free." I told her that unfortunately we would be unable to offer her our services for free, and I pointed to the large price list next to the counter which she had clearly seen. Besides, my dad had just spent a considerable amount of time on the task due to her indecisiveness. I was shocked that she expected our services for free. She then started complaining and naming XYZ jewelry stores that would have done this for free. My dad explained to her that he will be unable to work for free for her and that he has rent and bills to pay for the store. This whole time we were very calm and respectful, but she was behaving as though she had been severely wronged. She relented in the end and paid the excruciating £5, yes £5, which clearly drove her to bankruptcy. She stormed off when I thought that would be the end of her, but I came across her review and it brought back the shock and sadness I felt for my dad. I came across her Yelp review again recently. I sometimes check the reviews we receive, and it just made my blood boil. In the review she states that she expected the services for free and says she would have happily paid a nominal £1 or £2. That's the part that I find most insulting. Even more insulting than her complaining. It honestly shocks me that people will pay £5 for a terrible chain coffee with a cute name brand on it but won't pay £5 for services from a small business. My dad is a genuine craftsman and has spent decades perfecting his work. You aren't paying for the time it takes to do something, which was quite long anyway because the customer couldn't make her mind up. You are paying for his expertise and experience. Sure, taking out links and putting in new ones isn't the most onerous job, but refusing to pay someone for work they have done is straight up disrespectful and entitled. Anyway, rant over. Thank you for listening to me, and please support your local small businesses. Note, resizing is included in the price of any watch purchased from our store, but she had purchased her watch elsewhere. My dad was also taking out the number of links she was telling him to, but she was just indecisive. If it was free elsewhere, why did she visit your establishment, then? She's ridiculous, and I sized watches for a nominal fee when I was in jewelry sales. It's not free. I make plate armor. Like my profile picture. I have had people come by at events and tell me that a helmet was $20 worth of metal, and that I should not charge so much. I suggested they buy some steel and go whack one out with a claw hammer themselves. I was curious, so had a look at your page. It's incredible. I have no need for armor, but now I want a full set. Unfortunately, my partner would kill me, actually, a good reason for the armor, so I'll have to resist. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.